Surah 89. Surat Al Fajr, the dawn. In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, by the dawn and the 10 nights, by the double and the single, by the night when it has run its course, is there in that an oath for a man of diligence? Hast thou not seen how thy Lord dealt with Ad at Iram, adorned with pillars, the like of which had not been created in the land, and with Thamud, who hewed out the rocks in the valley for dwellings, and with Pharaoh, lord of the stakes, who all of them acted presumptuously in the land, and increased corruption therein. So thy Lord poured out upon them the scourge of chastisement. Verily thy Lord is assuredly lying in a place of snare. But as for man, whenever his Lord tries him, then honors him, and is graciously bountiful to him, he says, My Lord has honored me. But whenever he tries him, and sets a measure to his provision for him, he says, My Lord has humiliated me. Nay, indeed, but ye do not honor the orphan, and do not urge one another to feed the unfortunate, but ye do devour heritages greedily, and ye love wealth with an ardent affection. Nay, indeed, when the earth is pounded to dust, pounding, and when thy Lord comes along, and the angels rank by rank, and hellfire on that day is brought in, man on that day would fain be reminded, but whence shall the reminder come to him? He will say, Oh, would that I had sent ahead provision for my life, but on that day no one will chastise with his chastisement, and no one will bind with his binding. Then it will be said, O tranquil soul, return to thy Lord, approving and approved, and enter among my servants, and enter my garden. So we obviously want an afterlife that goes beyond our mere wishful thinking. But an important thing we have here, well, a whole bunch of things actually, but let me just point out a few of them. And we have the condemnation of the gospel prosperity. Hardship, test. Ease, it's a test. And we have the final station, the animal soul, the self-correcting soul, and the soul of the passions and the self-correcting soul, and we finally arrive at the soul at peace. So we move through the flags. You got to correct yourself with the black alchemy, and you end with the peace of that white flag there. And so we also see the 10 nights, and dawn, of course, being in the night, but the period from dawn to sunrise kind of. So the best 10 nights of the year are the last 10 of Ramadan. And the best 10 days of the year are the first 10 of the Hijjah, by analogy. But that's not what's being said here. But so what are we going to do these special days? Well, these special nights is what's very specifically referenced, but there's narrations that show that a lot of these things tie to other things. Like in another passage, it refers to something in the heavens, but it also is a lesson for our character.